Hello and welcome to the One Life Church devotional series where we cover the entire Bible in 20 months. Well, today's chapters are Psalm 85 and 86. Now, Psalm 85 is written by the sons of Korah, and Psalm 86 is written by David. So, Psalm 85, we have this fascinating use of language that describes heaven meeting earth. Starts by saying, "You, Lord, showed favor to your land." So the favor of God is shown upon the land, and you restored the fortunes of Jacob. Down to verse 10, and it says this: love and faithfulness will meet together. Now we know that love is defined by faithfulness. For me to love my wife, one of the ways I love my wife is I'm faithful to her. I'm faithful to loving her. I'm faithful to looking after her. I'm faithful to keeping my affections only on her. So it says love and faithfulness meet together. They speak of each other. Righteousness and peace kiss each other. So the righteous have peace around them. Another way of putting that, when the government of God is there, there is peace and it doesn't end. Of his peace and of his government, there is no end. But now, this is how it works with heaven and earth. Verse 7 says, faithfulness springs forth from the earth. So when we're faithful to God, it springs up from the earth, and righteousness looks down from heaven. So the righteousness is personified in God, isn't it? And so as we are faithful, and the righteousness of God is not only looking down from heaven, this is what it says down here, but under the new covenant, it comes upon us from heaven. Now, the Lord, verse 12 says, will indeed give you what is good. So in other words, the covenantal nature of God is that from heaven not only comes down righteousness, but comes down the goodness of God. Righteous goes before him and prepares the way of his steps. And a fascinating use of language describing how our faithfulness, God's righteousness, love and faithfulness mixed together. I trust that as you read it, God speaks to you. Psalm 86, David says, "Hear me, Lord, and answer me, for I'm poor and needy." But this is the crux of this verse. Verse 11, "Teach me your way, O Lord, that I may rely on your faithfulness." Amazing, eh? So that previous chapter said, our faithfulness reaches up toward heaven. But David says, "Teach me your way, O Lord, that I may rely on your faithfulness," so that my faithfulness is a reflection of your faithfulness. "Give me an undivided heart, that I may fear your name." You know, this is a theme of David. David asked God to work on his heart. We should ask God to work on our hearts. Give me an undivided heart. In other words, he's saying, on my own, my heart is split. Split allegiances, split focuses, split loyalties. Give me a heart that is undivided. It is totally set off to you. You know, we can adjust our behavior. We can set our minds on things of heaven. But the condition of our heart, David says, I rely on you to change my heart. That should be our approach toward the Lord. And then I love this verse, verse 16. You know, not much is said about David's mother in Scripture. You often hear about Jesse, his dad, David, son of Jesse. That was many times in the Bible. But David had a mom, and she apparently was an amazing woman. You heard the saying, behind every powerful man there is an extraordinary woman. Well, here it is, verse 16. "Turn to me and have mercy on me. Show me strength in behalf of your servant. Save me, because I serve you just as my mother did." This is King David. This is the guy who slayed Goliath. This is the guy who ruled Israel. This is the guy who has a heart after the heart of God. This is the great patriarch of the people of Israel. And he says, I serve just like my mom. Moms, ladies, your role in ministering to men like this is indescribably valuable. I think that's a fascinating verse. God bless you.